The movie is Free Solo. It's a documentary about a rock climber. His name is Alex Honnold. The rocks he climbs are rocks that would terrify even the hardiest of climbers. Yes, he climbs with ropes and stuff like that, but his thing is climbing what they call free solo or without ropes. When I first heard about Free Solo and was offered an interview with Honnold, I couldn't resist. It's about Honnold's ascent of El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. Now, no one until Honnold had ever scaled the peak sans ropes. In the movie, someone called climbing El Capitan the best day of Honnold's life.
I think so far, hopefully my life goes a lot longer and I'll have better days down the road, but yeah, I think so.
I first learned of Honnold from a series of rock climbing movies called Real Rock. I review the new one every year. Those films show Honnold as a friendly but private and you can almost say uncomfortable human being. Now he's written a book, done a book tour, and now a movie and a movie tour, which leads to the obvious question of how is he handling things now?
I think I've gotten pretty comfortable with it over time. I think that if 21-year-old me got thrust into my day today, he would have gone completely crazy and not been able to handle it. But, I think that over the last decade, I've certainly built up to it. And, like you said, you've seen all the Real Rock pieces. You've seen me grow over the last decade. I did a book tour a couple years ago that really helped prepare me for this whole film tour. It's all sort of piece by piece, but definitely feel more comfortable at time.
He noted that the Real Rock movies actually never quite showed his true personality. Honnold loves that this movie shows him to be who he really is.
Well, so honestly, that's one of the things that I love about this film, is that, I've made so many real rock pieces over the years, and, Real Rock, they always kind of have a shtick of some kind where I'm like the goofy dude, or, they're never fully fleshed out, it's always a bit of a caricature, where it's like, and one of the ones recently, it's like I was the bad guy, where like I'm the establishment and the other, and I'm competing against the new up-and-coming kids, the 24 Hours of Horseshoe Hell piece. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But basically, they always sort of create me as a character to fit whatever they need. Whereas I feel like this film, Free Solo, just portrays me, as I am, basically.
That brings us back to the point of the movie and this interview. Why climb El Capitan without ropes? It's 3,000 feet of very dangerous climbing. He says it's not a simple answer.
I've loved climbing my whole life, and I want to be a good climber, or basically whatever I do, I want to try to do it to the best of my abilities. And then free soloing has always been part of climbing to me, and so and I really enjoy soloing. The position, the exposure, just being up, surrounded by air. It's beautiful. And it feels very free, and so, I really enjoy it, and then I want to do it well, and so I've taken on bigger and more challenging solos, and eventually that led to El Cap.
How do you climb something as formidable as El Capitan, as the movie, filmed over 2 years, shows very carefully and with much practice? In the film, Honnold has a book on the mountain with notations that look almost like an algebraic formula.
The thing is that when I memorize moves, it's not exactly one move at a time. It's like I sort of memorize sequences, and so it feels, I'm sort of flowing through sequences. It's kind of like a choreographed dance or something. A dancer isn't necessarily memorizing each turn exactly. They're sort of memorizing the flow through the whole sequence of turns. So, it's not that hard for me to memorize that stuff.
For Honnold, climbing is a passion. It's almost an addiction. It's something he has to do, as many scenes in the film demonstrate. I asked if there's ever a place in his life where he quits climbing.
Probably not in its entirety. There might be a place where I quit free soloing at a high level. But I think I'll always climb. I just love the movement of climbing. I love the act of climbing. Even while we're on this film tour, I'm climbing in the gym all the time. It's really, I kind of love going climbing.
You can't do the type of work Honnold does without considering the prospect of death.
Do I even have to handle it? I don't know exactly. Because I already know rationally that climbing is dangerous and that things happen and that people die in accidents, and so seeing it actually happen is often just a reminder to live my life in the best way. But accidents really just make me think about how I'm leading my life. It's just sort of a reminder that your time is short and that you should use it the best way you can.
And it is death, or the thought of death, that drives his personal philosophy, and that what is important is not how long we live, but how we live each day to its fullest.
You know, if you had 35 more years, you'd still sort of want more, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of my thought, is that, you know, whether you die at 40 or 80 or at 100, you're still going to wish you had a few more years, probably, as long as you're still enjoying a good quality of life and like feel healthy. And so, you know, it's really about what you do with your time.
Free Solo is a breathtaking film that is as breathtaking for how it was shot than what was shot. To date, it's one of the year's best documentaries. I'm Gary Wolcott.